So, for the past couple weeks, I've been listening to an audiobook um, called The Fourth Wing. I haven't done like any audiobook or book reviews yet on this channel, but like it is like one of the things that like I partake in. Um, I drive for a living, so like a lot of times like I'm between like listening to podcasts, like listening to music, be on the phone. Another thing I do is like listen to audiobooks, and I've been trying to like I have a library subscription and I'm like on like the wait list for a few different ones I've been waiting on, and this came up as like readily available, and so I gave it a try, and I ended up like liking it quite a bit. Um, I late. It's funny because like I didn't get to finish it like the first time I had it, and I had like uh, like get back in queue for it, and like the queue was like something like 11 weeks long. So uh, I finished like 90% of this probably about like 5 weeks ago now at this point, but I went back and like listened like the last bit, and I'm glad I did. But I guess this came like viral on like TikTok or something like that. I've never heard of it before. I never heard of the author or anything like that beforehand, and just gave it a blind try because of the premise, which is based so that um, this person this daughter named Violet, she goes to it's almost like a college in a way, but there's like different wings of the college, and it's a 3 year thing like where you basically go there for being a scribe, um, being like a healer type person. Um, I can't think of what the other wing is now. And then like the fourth wing is dragon riding, which is like what she gets placed into because her mom is a general, and she kind of forces her into there. Um, Shortly after, you come to find out that her older sister and her older brother were also both dragon riders as well, but the older brother, I guess, like died in battle, and because of that, she was trying to become a scribe due to her dad like being like, no, you got to stay away from battle and everything. It's kind of like weird because like it almost feels like something like Harry Potter mixed with like Game of Thrones is the best way I can describe it, because it's very much like, hey, we're going to class and like we're learning these things. I say Game of Thrones because it's like very dark, weirdly, and it's also very sexual, weirdly, and like they have this like weird rule that like they can kill people if they deem them like too weak for the squad, and like it kind of like creates this like uneasy tension like the whole time, and like that's like the main part that didn't fit for me because like they basically go through all those trials like where people are gonna die like anyways, and it just seems like, and they're short on like these dragon riders, so it's just like why would you like allow this, and like some of them like are kind of like more accidental, some of them more purposeful, but being like the daughter of the general, this she has like a mark like on her head the whole time, from like these like different groups of people. It's a little bit more complicated with that. I don't want to really want to get into that because of the spoilers and all that stuff. It's better like if you kind of go in there without like knowing like all the details. There's quite a few moments in this though, like where I'm just like, dang man, like HBO's got to pick this up, or Netflix has got to pick this up, or whatever, because like there's these like plot points that I'm just like, dude, this would be like one of those things like where if this like went viral like Game of Thrones did, like, and like it ended like these episodes like on these like plot points that like people would be like, oh my god, did you see last night's episode, like I can't believe this happened, like oh my gosh, like like it's like that same like level of like like these twists, I guess. I don't know how else to describe these major plot points. um and then along the same lines of Game of Thrones is like one of the main criticisms this book is getting is because like this is a uh, young woman, and she's constantly like having like uh, horny thoughts, and I'm just like like I've been to college, I've taken college classes, like people are horny in college, and it's like, so it makes sense to me, and it's not like it's just like absurd, like like over the top by any means. It's supposed to be like, you know, like they're sparring or whatever, and she's just like, oh my god, like Danny Atos looks like super hot. He used to be like, you know, like my best friend growing up, and now I was like super, like, he's like very attractive and all that, and it's just like I don't think it's like over the top at all. Until you get to like later in the book where there's you know, I'm listening to audiobook and there's two basically hour long sex scenes, like hour long sex scene, very very minor plot development, then hour long sex scene, and it's just like those kind of like got like over the top in my opinion. Like not only the length but like the frequency of them, and it's kind of weird because you know like partway through this book I'm just like I gotta like find like what this you know this author's done like in the past, but like a lot of like what she's done like in the past like is like those books like where you go, you know, Barnes Noble or whatever, and they have this romance section, and it's like all these, you know, guys like with their shirts off and they're just jacked and like you know they're smut basically, and like so it makes sense that like you know that like the sex is over the top because like I know like a lot of like her reader base is like looking for that stuff, and I do think like the you know like the build up to it and the tension and everything up until that first sex scene is like really great. I just think that second sex scene is just kind of over the top and it just does like a lot of the same things like the first sex scene does, and it's just I I didn't you know I didn't see like anything I didn't see like a necessity for it, and I didn't see like a reason for it. Um, that being said, like you know like I think the writing's good in here. I think she does like the audiobook narration as well. That Rebecca Yarros, um, and I think she does a phenomenal job. There's a couple chapters done by someone else, and I don't like the other narrator like at all. Um, for whatever reason, like it just didn't vibe with me at all. The, I don't know. I haven't like listened. I know there's a second book in the series. I don't know how many books in the series there are, but I'm definitely gonna be like listening to the second book. It's kind of like on the back burner right now because I just got a Brandon Sanderson book off my queue, so I'm gonna be like listening to that. I have been listening to that, and then also I want to get into the Wheel of Time series, which is very long, and we'll see how that goes. You know, it just depends like if these books grab me and like I want to like continue listening to them because I might just you know abandon them like. But anyways, I don't really like give like ratings to like audiobooks or anything like that, I guess, but like if I would like I don't know like a 3.5 out of 5 somewhere in there, maybe 4 out of 5. Um, to even like an idea, like my favorite audiobooks like ever are like the Gillian, I can't think of her last name, Flynn, like Gone Girl, Sharp Objects. Uh, I think she's like one of the best like out there by far. Another one that's like great is like Jeremy Irons. He did a audiobook version of Lolita, and like I think he nailed like the cadence and like the vernacular just perfectly. And like the subject matter of Lolita is obviously like you know like very controversial, but like it's like worth listening to at least like you know parts of it just because of Jeremy Irons' narration. There's a few other ones too, like Harry Potter does like a it's like good like multi-character thing. It's like always like nice like when you don't have like someone trying to force like 50 different voices. Um, like the Song of Ice and Fire books. Those are great stories, but painful to listen to like the audiobooks of. But um, you know, I also listened to Brandon Sanderson's Tress and the Emerald Sea. I really enjoyed that as well. Um, I'd probably rate that like along the same lines of Fourth Wing, maybe a little bit higher. Um, just because like the tone feels more natural like throughout the whole thing. Um, anyways, don't expect these audiobook reviews like very much, just because it does take me like a couple of weeks to get through an audiobook. Um, and it's like it's not always like you know my favorite. I'm not like the you know like, most like well-read person. I don't like read like at all almost like anymore. I used to read like a lot growing up, and That's on audiobooks now, but it's just, I don't listen to like the same amount of audiobooks that I'm watching movies. I feel like a lot more like knowledgeable about movies and everything. Um, but anyways, uh, yeah, the next one I'm trying to listen to is The Way of Kings and the Wheel of Time series. I just maybe expect those in a few weeks. Just depends. Anyways, bye. Oh, actually, I do want to talk about spoilers real quick about this. Um, Mainly like the last scene, which is like the main reason like now I'm excited for book two is because at the end of this you find out that Brennan's alive, and when I was like talking about earlier about the second narrator, it's like Zane. I can't even his last name now. Because I'm pretty tired. But anyways, Zane, I don't like his narrator at all. I'm sorry, like, if you're out there listening to this, I'm sorry, but like, it just didn't work with me. He's got this like, it's like a weird macho voice, but it's like I'm trying to be cool at the same time. Like I don't know how to describe it, and it's just it, it's annoying and like detracted from like the last few chapters. But like still, like when you find out Brennan's like alive, because it's like the last line or two of the book, and it's just like, oh my gosh, like Brennan's alive, he's a mender, and I usually play like clerics and paladins and all that stuff, like in all of my games. So it's just like I don't know, it's cool. Anyways, bye.